Ready? Go.
Adam's first over the line, even though he's come off the track.
Well, I feel like I'm onto something.
Ignoring his spill, he adds a few finishing touches and calls it a day.
It looks like it was built for one thing. It was built for super speed.
I think it looks like it's built for killing children. And what's all this crap on the back of it?
That's the rocket engine, man. That's the solid rocket fuel booster thing.
While the boy racer dreams, Carrie and Scotty search out a suitable racing grade.
That's a good 10 degrees. Might be a little busy on the street, though.
While they're scouring the streets of America's slopiest city, another myth is calling.
This is the Great British Yawn.
No one knows why we do it. Is it to get rid of built-up carbon dioxide? Is it an evolutionary leftover, something our primitive ancestors did? And can it really be passed from one human to another?
So how are we going to test whether or not yawning is contagious?
Well, first we need a test audience.
We're going to have to isolate them and be able to watch them with hidden cameras.
And we're going to have to be able to control this. Let's say it's a room. We build a room.
We're going to have to plant a yawning seed in the room as well.
You mean somebody who's in on the gag?
Yawn.
That's good. Okay.
I think we can put an ad out on the internet looking for extras, and then we just don't tell them what they're here for. That way we can get them to go sit in a waiting room and we can start messing with their minds.
While the build team gets to work on a chamber of yawns, let's find out more about yawning. Yawning is involuntary. The mouth opens and the jaw drops to allow in as much air as possible. As the lungs fill to capacity, stomach muscles contract and the diaphragm is pushed down. The heart beats up to 30% faster. Then, when the lungs are full, excess air is expelled. The yawn chamber is rigged with spying devices, like a two-way mirror and a hidden camera. Now, a bit of set dressing, and they're ready to bore.
This is the technical explanation of the tax and pension provisions of H.R. 3108.
Wait, did we want them to yawn or completely pass out?
I think this is good stuff. I think it's good.
Just a few days ago, this was just a bit of garage. Now it's a room that looks like it's been lived in for years, with a few extra tricks. Behind our Jamie and Adam picture, there's a secret microphone. And would you ever believe that this right here is a camera?
Not exactly James Bond. Could the build team be underestimating Mythbusters fans?
If anybody yawns in this room, I'm going to catch it. I'm very, very excited about this.
Our test subjects are here. We're about to bring them in.
Those poor souls. They're about to be bored to within an inch of their lives. First, the control. The group's left in the empty room for 10 minutes. Nothing to read, no talking aloud. Here are some highlights.
Absolutely no yawning.
No yawning in 10 minutes. I yawned twice.
Okay, so this time on your clipboard, you'll find a document. Please just sit quietly and read it.
Next, the lucky volunteers get to read some tax law. The excitement reaches fever pitch. People, we have our first yawn. Now, will it travel round the room like a Mexican wave?
Person, so it's too early to tell.
The first two tests are inconclusive. So for test number 3, Scotty tries to infect the subjects with the yawning bug. But they appear to be totally immune. Unlike Carrie. Then, at Yawn Central, sudden panic. The watchers think they are being watched. Has their cover been blown?
I swear that guy's looking right at me.
Or is working in a dark, confined space starting to get to them? None the wiser, the bemused volunteers go back to lives which suddenly seem far more exciting. But what about the results?
First, our control, absolutely no yawns. 2, the most successful test of all, the tax laws. We had 8.5 yawns from one woman, 2 yawns from a man in a jacket, 1 from the man in plaid, 2 from the kid, and half a yawn from the woman in red.
The woman in blue was like a yawning machine. She would not stop. I mean, it was like every couple of minutes she was yawning, and nobody else was taking the bait.
And there was no yawning at all during Scotty's yawn seeding experiment. The conclusion so far is no conclusion. The yawning myth is still wide open. Time to bring in Adam and Jamie on this one.
I love those guys. They're not warning, they're training. Did anyone walk in and go, hey, how you doing? Yeah, pretty much. Really?
Adam and Jamie believe the build team have been using too few guinea pigs and too many stimuli.
I think for all of these things, you need a bigger sample, you need a longer test.
I think definitely. Like,
And they can't know that we're
Right.
doing
You
this.
can't know that you're doing a test, and really you have to leave them alone in the
waiting.
room.
Yes, just
You have to
waiting.
just leave them alone in the room waiting.
Here and wait.
What you guys are telling us is that we need to go back and try this again.
Yeah. All right, well, look forward to see what you come up with next time.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Back on the city streets, the girls are searching for steep slopes. But Carrie and Scotty can't find a straight quarter mile, the length of a drag racing strip for their toy car racetrack.
I think we might have to go out of town. I don't think San Francisco's going to have any doable hills for us. Road trip! Even though we live in a very hilly city, we could not find a quarter mile of straight track. So we're going all the way up to Lake Tahoe, laying out a quarter mile of this toy car track, getting a Viper, and we're racing the cars. Wow.
The Mythbusters head for the hills in one of the Southwest's most beautiful locations. Lake Tahoe's Ski Boulevard is the venue for the big event. It's both long enough and steep enough for a gravity-powered race-off.
I think they'll get going pretty fast. We'll be most of the way by the time we get to the bottom of this hill.
Yeah, I think the quarter mile is right about where the stop sign is.
Go for it.
200 feet.
Okay, that's 300 feet.
It's a suitable grade, and the quarter-mile track fits neatly into one block, just as Jamie estimated.
That was freakish.
Jamie stood at the top of the hill and said,
Quarter miles just about to the stop sign.
and how far off was he?
He was off by 16 feet. You know, sometimes you pull something out that's just a little bit freakish.
I know. Maybe we shouldn't tell.
He is a robot.
I think so.
Jamie is a robot.
Not bad for a man of 75.
Right on cue, the real speed machine arrives.
Purrs like a kid. I think that just about says it. Get in, sit down, shut up, hang on.
Have you heard the myth that a small toy car, like a 64th scale toy car, can actually beat a car like this just in a gravity slope race?
It should.
Really?
It should. I would be flabbergasted if it didn't. When you shove the clutch in here, you got 3,000 pounds that has to get rolling. And that little thing is going to be down the hill and gone.
So the sun sets on race day eve with the toy car a surprise favorite. Tomorrow, the real